Good morning. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Just such a quick message. Just a quick lie. Quick lie. First, I want to say shout out to Spittenfire. Shout out to Spittenfire. She got out there, put them boots on the ground, went and delivered political papers that she wanted to get delivered to the higher power to take a look at paperwork pertaining to, as she calls him, a high profile celebrity, Robert Sylvester Kelly, known as R. Kelly. That was a notorious move. One, one, and only one, the only one that I have seen that made such a drastic move to get something done with paperwork other than budget. Always shout out to budget. That's hands down. But I'm talking about here on the freaking internet, social media community that started out with the R. Kelly freedom movement. So, with that being said, I still, just kind of wanted to briefly speak on something that the respondent to Spit and Fire had said to her. And it just kind of behooves me, right? Because of my learning that I have indulged in with a lot of this political stuff, which I don't get too deep into it, but I just, kind of get my hands and my feet a little wet just to become a little bit more knowledgeable about it. And for the most part about it, I be hearing a lot of people talk about, as the taxpayers, and, you expect for certain things to be done at a certain level, of which you can kind of control, have your hands in. So I heard Spit and Fire ask the lady at the counter, which is something that I'm a different breed that I just don't settle for. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Julie. Good morning. Let me do this though while I'm talking to y'all because I don't want to be late today. But I heard the lady say, and it just really it cringed me, right? Because I just can't stand it. But on the other hand, I understand where you want to hold the respect and to people. You want to keep things cordial, and I understand that, right? But Spitfire asked her to see if this congressman, which I don't know, it's someone over in Spit and Fire's district, over there, and I'm sure Spit and Fire, pays taxes and everything, and this congressperson gets voted in by the people. So when I hear, and I know that of such that this is how these people get into office, I'm always under the impression that, hey, at some point you kind of work for me, just like how we do with the police officers out here, right? Say, we pay y'all taxes, you work for me. And it is a mutual agreement, right? So the lady says that, well, I don't know. I can't be sure. I can't promise you. Now this is someone who is working behind the desk for the congressman. I'm like, okay. So Spitfire goes, well, oh, okay, well, I want to leave it here. I've called 3 weeks ago or so, and I've been meaning to stay on top of this and kind of get this passed through to where it has to go. Now, obviously, Spitfire has done her research or whatever, because I don't think that she would have gotten up at any point just to go down there to say and not know if this is something that the congressman or the woman takes a position and doing something like this for the public. I don't know. I'm hoping that it has been done that way, but when the lady in turns around and goes, well, she just kept saying, I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that. At that point, this is when my 5 W's kick in. Okay, well, who knows? Because I want to know who knows. Who can do this? Because I want to know who can do this. this is something that I need to be done. When can it be done? Can I get a call back or a letter back giving me the reason why it cannot be done? So just kept, I'm listening to this lady and I'm going, okay, well, put somebody behind the desk, because at some point you're going to have some unforeseen questions that that the public is going to ask, and important information that they're going to need. This stuff needs to be documented. It's nothing like a paper trail, right? um, Spittenfire, being the person that she is, having that respect for, the counter person, and I think of them finding out that okay, they may have a close residence together, and not knowing that, but becoming a little bit knowing by, oh, okay, well, you in my area, how you doing? Da, 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 da. Now it's time to have a little friendly discussion. Hey, nice to meet you, and blah blah blah. And that's still on the back burner. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, well, since you don't know, hi, Rosalinda. Hi, how are you? Uh, um, yeah, so I'm like, I want to know who. Because there's nobody that's going to be working behind a desk that I can't come and ask you questions, and because I came to get something done and then leave there with a freaking blanket that, okay, so now, spend fire has to be under the impression that okay, it's a possibility that her package will move forward through this congressman, or are they just going to sit there and sit it on the freaking desk? No, I wants to know who can move it, why I need, what hands can I put this in to get this done, because I want to get it done. However, shout out to Spit and Fire. I'm going to keep saying, I was like, oh, okay, she moving it. She did the first step, and that is progress compared to all of the mouthy ass shit I've been seeing going on. That's some goddamn progress. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to see, that it happened. That's pretty cool to me. Pretty freaking cool. Good morning. Yeah, pretty freaking cool. I was like, oh Lord, and something that can and should be shared amongst the people. Look at this, because nobody else has it. Nobody else has done it. Everybody wants you to sign, sign, sign. Let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, and it has been done for R. Kelly several times, several times. But that was a major move right there. That's a milestone. Congratulations, shout out to her. Sometimes it takes courage because of who you're out here trying to advocate for, and shit takes courage because you got a whole lot of potty mouth people that feels differently than what your fight is about. So I was like, oh, gone girl, gone girl. But no, that response from that clerk was just unacceptable. Totally freaking unacceptable. You are behind that desk. Go find me the answer. Go tell me who, just in case after a week or so, that there is no action involving what I came in here for, I know who to come back and whom to ask for. Because now, if I come back, it's just going to be a roundabout situation going on. Oh, well, I think, good morning. I think, and I'm not sure, and oh, well, maybe. But the lady just kept going, well, I can't promise you. I can't promise you. I need a promise. I need you to tell me if it can or cannot be done, because I have to be able to maneuver around. Oh shit, I left my damn backpack, y'all. I got to go back and maneuver around to find out who can get this done. Now, when it comes to who's paying what salaries, and if a person should have that consideration to put their attention towards something that you may want done, that only comes by forcing a freaking record. Because a lot of them do forget that you are voted into these positions. Sorry, y'all. I gotta get that, get that in my locker, right? We got real tight, small freaking lockers. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Happy freaking Wednesday, y'all. I'm out here on my grind. Been meaning to come live and chill and kick it with my channel, but it's always something that usually comes up. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, but I'd be so big. I be busy. And then when I get home, I'm a little bit tired or I got to take care of this or take care of that. But anyway, I ain't here for none of my goddamn excuses. A part of my life. Now, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. And hopefully a response or some actions will be taken behind the progress that Spittenfire went out to do with the development of her paperwork and the movement and the advocating for R. Kelly is successful, and things can be rolling on the outside with R. Kelly fans and his supporters. It's pretty much all that I have to say on that, but that was a great feeling just to see that for those who actually have the time and is able to put in that type of work while others continue like me, to, I have to work, I have to provide, I have to support, me and, the kids and things like that. But however, I still ride and shout out for Robert Sylvester Kelly's freedom. We all go quiet. We all get to go back and kind of do our lives and things like this, but it's never forgotten over here. Just to let you guys know, had I had more hours in a day or whatever, and I think that continuing to put my boots on the ground, I would do so, but it's just not enough hours in a day. And when you put yourself, and your family, you got to think about those things too, because you don't want to fall face down, for missing the things that you should be doing also in your life. So it's so much in our pie, so many slices that we can cut up and focus on and try to do this and try to do that. And, also with me taking on another big part of my job, of what I'm doing in here, it just takes up a lot of my time, you guys. I'm dealing, like I said, 100. Actually, I think it's 70. It might went down to 70 because a lot of people retired now, whatever. And I'm enjoying every bit of it, But shout out to Spittenfire, y'all. That was great work, more progress. Have not seen it done with all of these paperworks and the signatures in there. I haven't seen it done. And if it's been done, I stand correctly. Somebody let me know. Well, so-and-so did it. So-and-so did it. Because as far as I know, all of those signatures and the paperworks and things that goes on, it's just been sitting in the hands of who? Of who? I ain't seen it. But Spittenfire moved that damn paperwork. I was like, oh shit. The only exception is that I did not like the response of the clerk. Other than that, I hope that Spittenfire actually follows up on it within probably a week. It's usually about 14 days, so 14 calendar days, working days, and go back and see what that clerk response will be on the second go round. Because if her response is the same on the second go round, well, she's probably going to say that, oh, I told you that I couldn't promise it, then where is it at? I'm down with the 5 W's. That's just how I live my life. I wants to know who, because I'm not about to do the roundabout. I wants to go right on to the freaking dragon who's spitting the fire up in here. Who's the boss? I want to talk to you, because it's you that I want with your words, your lingo on the paperwork, your signature. I need the actual go-to person. But when we have that middle person, like that clerk, I can't promise you. I can't promise you. Okay, well, give me your provisions of what you can promise. What are you do? What are you doing? I know you file paperwork. I know you answer the phones. I know you probably getting his tea or his coffee or running to the store to get his. We don't know, but what else do you know? Because when you're in those type of positions and you have an unexpected person coming in here with an unexpected situation that you never have dealt with, then you need to go find me the answer. You need to go find me the answer. I don't leave. Because that clerk, her signature means absolutely nothing. She's the clerk. Who's the boss? That's what I know. But she went to to see if the congressman, hey, huh? She went to see if the congressman would be able to help her move the documents. Yeah. She went to see if, I need to get this moved. And obviously, she thought that that was the correct person to stand behind this and get it moved so that it can be read and heard and a decision can be made based on whatever her documents, her portfolio is saying. So, no, I'm not in jail. Are you in jail? Are you in jail? Why would I be in jail? Why would I be in jail? No, no, no. Do jail have this? No, no, no. Fucking jail. I mean, but if you want to use that term, then that's fine. Some people may feel like that they are because you say it's orange. No, I am not. I'm orange. I'm not orange. I'm orange today. No, I'm not in jail. I'm at work. Work. See that? Work, work, work. I'm at work. Hey, huh? Stay. You in the bush. You're fine. I was just going to only be a second anyway. I just wanted to give Spittenfire a shout out. Something that I seen, which I consider is that, girl, you eat so much snacks, it don't make no damn. Why is you always eating all this junk food?
I don't never eat when I
That
come
don't mean
here.
you never have fruit, and you got cracklings, all that sodium
Well,
in
I'm gonna
there.
tell you my daily routine.
Tell me cause I don't
When I
never
wake
see
up-
you with no fruit, no
So, Miss Jackie,
vegetables.
when I wake up, it be like 8:30. I have to hurry up, get in the shower. Then I gotta come back, make my mama breakfast and dinner.
Okay.
Then I gotta hurry up and run out the door. I never feed myself. That's why I be snacking all day.
Okay, well, that's not good for you,
I know,
and you're getting
I
up in
know.
age, and you need to fall back off of
I
that.
know.
Bit.
But I
That's
don't
all
have
I've been
nowhere
seeing.
else to stop it. Right
And
at
I've
the
been
store,
meaning
quick.
to address you, and
Right
it
at
ain't
the
none
store.
of my business, but I be caring sometimes
Yeah, you
like that.
supposed
I'm like,
to.
this girl, she
You
doing a
care
big
about
old
each
bag.
other.
Look, y'all, bag of cracklers. Look what the hell she got. Look,
It's
I'm
my dinner
showing my
for today. See, I
live.
just
Look at
came
that
to
shit.
grab this.
Wait.
That.
This shit ain't
It's my-
healthy. Look at
It's my
it.
dinner. My little juice, and I got that water.
And then later on, you
Then
go
just
back
in
to
case
the
y'all catch
machine
a
and
sweet
get
tooth.
girl
Cause I still be hungry. Shit, I still be hungry. Now I cooked dinner last night. I didn't even have time to put nothing in the container.
Okay.
My brother done stole
Well,
all
until
my
I see your
Tupperware.
diet change, I'm gonna stay on you. I'm like, come on, Shonda.
It's gonna get
Come
hot. I
on,
need to get in the
Shonda.
gym. I need to get me a
Then you went to the
membership.
store, and that says Woodman's.
You in the gym
So
this
that
Saturday?
means that I do. I have my stuff downstairs in the basement.
Got-
That
she got a
means
whole
that
house.
you done passed the apples, the oranges, everything.
You know, I got oranges, a whole bag of oranges in my refrigerator. She grab one.
I'll be up like this girl and her junk food. Yes.
You know some Secret Santa, somebody must know me.
Wow.
And I still want to figure that out. Who did that?
What?
Because somebody know me.
What
They
you
bought
did?
me a big ass box of chips.
Oh,
I
girl.
said, they know me, they know I like the snack. They bought me a big box of chips.
It's all good though. I'm just letting you know because we getting
I'ma
older,
get
so
better,
you
baby.
gotta
I
be
know.
careful. You gotta be careful.
I was just thinking
It's
that
never
earlier.
too late for diabetes. It can't. It's just never too.
It's
It'll,
not, I
it'll
know.
happen. So be careful. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna take that candy bar that you gonna go get about 3, 4
No, I
o'clock.
ain't gonna get no
Okay.
But Miss Jackie, now what we gonna do about this? They destroying everything we eat. We can't eat shit. Everything bad.
My girl stand up says she has to eat the right food so she won't be hungry. Oh, yeah, but listen, stand up. I mean, I've been like literally. This is every day with her, and I'm like, come on, girl. Don't. I know the temptations of it and everything. I used to be in love with Kit Kats and 100,000 gram bars and stuff, but I'm done. Girl, I ain't had no chocolate. I don't eat chocolate like that no more. I used to have a bad taste for it, but now not anymore. It's like I don't even like it no more. So, but that's why I kind of come on and I wanted to, notate that out here on the channel. So, go over you guys, Spitting Fire. Give her thumbs up on that. That was a great move. I'm impressed. I was like, wow. And so I come out when is due to come out and acknowledge something like that. That just cannot go unacknowledged. Now they have the other paperwork or the link floating around for all of you guys to go over and sign. There's another petition, and I promise you, I better hear or I better see. Come and talk about it. Ain't gonna lie, cause y'all got to remember out there, I'm just Team Pat. I ain't no motherfucking team. I don't do all that shit. And if it ain't right, y'all know my mouth will flare open, and I'll be like, hold up, hold up. I better see a movement on this last piece, on this petition and stuff, and where it's going. Not just sitting on somebody's lap or whatever. I want to see it move because they're pressing it really hard. The links are out there, you guys. You gotta go find them, sign them, and like they say, it don't hurt to sign them and all that stuff. However, everybody has their own feelings and things about reasons why they would and why they would not sign them, and respect to everybody who does that. All I'm saying is this is an ongoing process, and I get it. You got to keep it going and keep it going, like throwing shit against the wall and hoping that it sticks. And I understand that. Hey girl, I understand that. So but you know that was a movement. That was boots on the ground right there. So I appreciate that you did it, because I'm unable to do so. You know, I'm unable to do so. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, stand up. That's what I do. And I know sometimes I get on people's nerves and all that stuff. And X, you say, well, thank you. Now, you know what? You're going to have to follow me, X, because I'm getting ready to get my teeth done. So you're going to have to follow me, because I'm going to be on here crying. Because my sister said it's going to be painful. But April 7th is my day that I go in, and I'm going to be putting my Invisaligns back on and straighten my teeth, back out. They cleaned out. I love my teeth. So, but I got older, and then they started to shift on me for some reason. So I'm not saying that I'm happy, because I'm happy every day with whatever I have and whatever I do, however I look, right? There'd be some days I don't comb my hair and I'll be happy, don't X. But you're going to have to be here, because we're going to do my lives and watching my orthodontist with my visitation with the Invisalign as he straightens my teeth back out the way that I want them. And poor X, let me tell you, I must have cried writing that check. X, I cried. I was like, I got what after I wrote the check, because it was like 20. I paid $2,400, right? I just paid it in full, because I didn't want no payment plans, right? And when I got in the car, X, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, my stomach. Did I just write $2,400 fucking dollar check? The X, I was crying, man. I was like, oh, that was, to me, that's a lot of money, because I'm also trying to keep up with the payments for my daughter's college. I'm doing that. And spring is here, and that's another 1,900 eggs. I started doing something strange for some change around here. I ain't mad. I was like, oh, I mean, I work and I'm doing okay and I save money, but when you got to, write checks for a big amounts, boy, you'd be like, oh, oh, Lord. Because I mean, I'm a little cheap, but I'm not cheap when it's something that I have to do, something that I choose to do. I don't mind paying it, but now I don't splurge on myself like I used to do anymore. $200, $300 pair of gym shoes, every month. I had to kill that. I miss it. I have to kill it. I'm an Air Max queen, boy. I'm an Air Max holic, and they got these new fires out too. I think it's called Air Max fires. Oh my God, 380. I'm like, oh, I want these. I want these. So the temptation is eating at me. It's eating at me, but I've been avoiding them. But since I've looked at them, don't you hate this about Google and looking up stuff? Because when you look it up, because I try to keep up with the new series of shoes that's coming out on the Air Max, right? And now every time I log on or open up my phone or whatever, it's right there, X. Everything that you look up is right there. Everything that I play, it's kind of scary too, though, right? Every thing that I play as far as music or so, if I'm listening to it through Pandora or YouTube or whatever, when I get in my car, every goddamn song that I listen to is now on series. I'm like, what the fuck? And I promise you, X, I ain't never heard like this song on series like for a long minute, long minute. Then all of a sudden, like, what in the hell? It's kind of spooky. I'm like, how is this relations going? You know what I mean? Like, wait, since when series done played this song here? Because this is just a song that I search for on YouTube, and I'm going, oh, that song at that. So then I'll get in the truck, they playing it on series. How does that work, X? Explain that to me. I can't understand. I'm like, somebody's really listening. So it's series and what's all the other series and Bixby and Corenta or whatever that was. They all must be working together. I don't know how this shit goes. It's a little spooky to me though. Very, very spooky to me. Like all this internet crappy shit. Anyways, you guys, I gotta go. Y'all have a blessed day. I was gonna come on here and have my shits and giggle and laughter about that whole goddamn. Oh, you know what? Keandre is doing well. Now, let me share this with you, Judith, because Keandre just had his doctor's visit probably might have been a month, close to a month, right? Hello, Master. About a month ago. And then this is the reason why he had this office visit, too. It came kind of unexpectedly. Keandre was at school, okay? Goes to the special school. You guys are aware of his disability, right? I can't call out all of these freaking medical terms that they use because they be long as hell now. I remember them all. Okay, so he was sleeping, according to the information that I have. And the caregivers, the teachers, whatever you want to call them, were trying to awake Keandre. And they couldn't awake. He couldn't wake up. So they panicked. Um, they said that he had a very light pulse and everything going on. So they were trying to reach out. I did not recognize the number. So now that I know that that's the number, if I don't have a name attached to a number, I do not answer. You're gonna have to send a text message or an email first saying, hey, I'm trying to reach out to you because of the scam calls are on. Not only just a scam, it's the advertisement calls. People, want to buy and sell you some shit or sell you some shit, right? So I missed the call. I ignored the call. Then they were trying to reach out to my daughter, and she was sleeping, so she didn't hear the phone. So they called 911. Ambulance come, and they take him over to the hospital. Mind you, Keandre is still out of it. They're thinking that he had probably had a seizure in his sleep, not knowing all of his medical history at the school. They do know that he's disabled. Keandre will never talk, but we're waiting to get him into sign language because of his incompetence. He's at a level of a 2 and 3 year old. That's Keandre. Keandre is 7. He'll be 7, I think, this year. I lose track of all my grandkids' ages and birthdays. And they should know that by now. It's their loss. I told them that. And if you do not remind me or call me to say, Grandma, it's my birthday, then you don't get a gift. You don't get no money. You don't get shit. Because I don't remember. And I don't have that shit written down. It's like, Grandma, really? Yes, really, motherfucker. Anyway, so now they get him in the ambulance. He's off to the hospital. The doctors, they're all waiting for him to arrive, blah, blah, blah. And I kid y'all not, when they got him to the hospital, to my understanding, within about 10 or 15 minutes, Keandre sits up and wakes up like, okay, what's going on? Where am I at? What happened? So he has no idea what happened. So they took him and they went to do an MRI and everything to see, if he had a seizure. No seizure indication found at all. He was just in a very, for some reason, deep sleep where they just could not wake him up, and they waited. He woke himself up. So that was a blessing. That was a great scare though, y'all. It's like, oh my God. So now we have to watch him very carefully a little bit more when he is sleeping. He does well with his CPAC on. Without his CPAC, you got to be careful, with Keandre. So, but moving fast forward, um, he is what he is, and to hear the doctors with their diagnosis, and I mean it's a lot of them, and he's going to be this way and he's going to be that way and this is not going to change. Some of it we've accepted. A whole lot of it we did not accept because we knew some things that the doctor just didn't know as far as his listening skills. As far as his cognitive skills, we all know where they are. But being disabled and still have some understanding pertaining to life skills, he has those. Keandre, go get your shoes. Keandre's going to go get his shoes. Keandre, go to the toilet. Keandre is going to the toilet and flush the toilet. You don't even have to tell him. He's going to flush the toilet. Now, if Keandre poops, no, he does not understand that you have to wipe, your butt. So one of us has to be there to see if he did poop, that we have to wipe him. He does not know, that part of the program. Now, what he does know is that there is tissue in the bathroom. What is the tissue for? Well, apparently he thinks that it's for, this cognitive skill thing that he's got going on. He just wants to pull the toilet paper and toss it around like a freaking helicopter. That was one of the reasons when I reached out to my supporters that comes over to the One Papoose channel for Christmas. I had asked for you guys to help me, and we purchased those things for Christmas for him. And a lot of you guys remember what you bought, the little light ups and things. Those things, and it's crazy to me, helps him learn. He takes those things, those lights, those bells, those objects that does crazy things, and it's unimaginable because I wouldn't have never thought that I can use something like this to compare it with something over here to learn how this operates. But that's how his mind works. I don't mess with him. You want to pull the whole freaking toilet paper and run it all through it, and you're trying to use something, a part of your brain to develop something or try to figure out, go right the head with me. I gotta go buy some more toilet paper. I'm not gonna stop his learning. That's how he chooses to learn. It's a headache. Yeah, he did. He beat toilet paper. He just, watches it and all this stuff. Keandre, put your pants on. He puts his pants on. All you have to do is hand him his pants the right way. He's going to put them on. He's not going to turn those pants around, look at them under the way that you hand it to him is the way that he's going to put his pants on, so they are on the right way. Keandre does not feed himself. Okay? Keandre does not eat solid food. Will that ever change? I don't know. Oatmeal, everything has to be porated. Is that the correct word? Yeah. Very, very thin for him, and it's only oatmeal. So my daughter actually, once she's out of that milk or whatever that the system helps her pay for, it's costing us like another $120 to finish out the rest of the month, to keep him equipped with the milk that he likes to drink. So, can he pour his own milk in his cup? Absolutely. So, yeah, become Judith is a learning experience for me. Learning to respect the fact of someone being disabled a lot more, because they all learn and have their ups and downs and in so many different ways of a walk of life. So I respect it because I like there's some things that I see Keandre do that my mind would have never grabbed the concept of what he's understanding to what he's doing. To me, I'd be like, if you don't go put that toilet, what the hell is you doing? Why is you twisting that toilet paper around? That's I used to be when I first started. I thought it was bad. Stop that. Stop telling. But then, wait a minute, he's actually learning in his own way. So I had to accept that. Put more toilet paper in there. Go ahead on and learn. But he's a beautiful boy. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy. No matter how he turned out, the boy is a beautiful boy. Yeah, he's a beautiful boy. And one day I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna let y'all watch how Keandre works his tablet. Unfreaking believable. So, like I say, some things that the doctor says and on how he won't be able to do this and do this. Yes, I understand that he has a mind level of a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, and I get that. But baby, when I tell you some of the things you'll see him doing, at some point I have to call a doctor out and be like, "Are you sure?" Because I don't know a 2-year-old that can do this. And I think he'll be 7 or 8. I'm gonna find out his age, y'all. I don't know, but I love y'all. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and subscribe button. I'm going on my channels and go watch this goofy, because I like some goofy stuff of this whole gay enterprise going on the other side with this there. It's Shamar, and I don't be trying to speak bad about Shamar and nothing like that. And God bless his soul or whatever. But after me watching all of these different transgenders and gays and whatever they are out there, right? If that's what it's all about, I would never want no part of it. I would never vote for no shit like that, or none of it. Those people in that community, as far as what I've been seeing, just such demonic behavior, insanely bull crap. They do insane stuff. I'd be over here like, where is their parents? Even though I know they're all adults, so parents are obsolete now for the control of what is right and wrong, or what we think is right and wrong about their lives and things like that. They ain't going nowhere. I don't care if that boy had 50 million freaking fans. Tell my Shamar, his music sucks. But to him and everybody else, they think that, oh, he's the superstar and the queen of Atlanta. And I just can't, like, who brainwashes someone's brain like that? Oh, okay, he makes music. That's good. That's a good development coming from someone who is a bit disabled with sclerosis. And you too, Judah. But at some point, I'd be looking like, y'all need to stop. But I'd be laughing my butt off, y'all. I probably do about an hour of that crazy stuff over there. I'd be like, this shit. And all they want to do is just fight. They just fight, 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 fight. So now they have this whole, what do you call this house? They in a content house. I guess they rent Airbnbs out or whatever, and they go in there and they film all this stuff and do. Y'all rented this humongous Airbnb. Everybody's up in here is either transgender and gay, but y'all spend money to develop a show on arguing? I don't understand that shit. I'm so lost with who does that? And I just call them lost souls. But that's just my opinion. Some people may like it, but yeah, what? That's how I be doing over here. Who in the fuck goes, excuse my French, stand up, you know how I am, goes and do some shit like that? Who goes and rent an Airbnb to have a show where there's a whole 40 monstrous ass people up in there developing arguments, arguments that leads to fights, physical fights, to get paid. Now, here's where their brain cells stopped down here, right? Because let's just say that one of them actually really gets hurt. I mean, hurt. I'm talking about hurt. Unalive, serious damage to their body where they're incapacitated in the hospital for whatever the case. What makes them think that they're not going to have no charges or anything against them about something because they want to put on a show and act out a character? Y'all, I'd be like, if this ain't the goofiest waste of money I have ever seen. But yet then, you will hear a lot of our youth talk about how they don't have no money. They don't have a job. I can't find a job. I can't do this. And that's because, yeah, let me go to work, girl. Hey, thank you, sister. Have a good day.